This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Welcome to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, where we take a deep dive into the lore of the Final Fantasy universe, such as the characters, stories, and so much more. Hosted by Ben of Temeria and Steve-O. Welcome back, Warriors of Light, to another episode of the Final Fantasy Lorecast. I am one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my good friend, Steven.
Yo!
And oh, you need to get settled in? Alright, fair enough.
No, my dog.
Oh, your dog needs settled in. Oh, that's fair. But, yeah, so today we are bringing you another main antagonist from the Final Fantasy series. But before we dive into that, we do have a special thing from one of our amazing patrons gifted this to us. And, oh my god, I was not expecting this. I don't know. I know Steven was definitely not expecting this either. Like, this is just, it mind-blown us, and I think it made my year.
Shout out to
TrueSpeak. Yeah, shout out to TrueSpeak, because this is the best thing ever. And we'll be playing it for everybody. It's a good almost 8.5 minutes. So, buckle up and listen to a very great person in the Final Fantasy community, and I would say now friend of the show, I would say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, here we go.
Hello, it's me, Benjamin Mark Starr. Yep, that's my full name. You can now use that on legal documents and do some fraud for me. How are you doing? Hello, Ben and Steven, hosts of the Final Fantasy Lorecast. TrueSpeak asked me a couple of questions and said you have the most amazing Discord to be a part of. And I love the fact that, quite literally, Final Fantasy Lorecast, you're way up your arse about Final Fantasy. Fuck yeah, you are. TrueSpeak says, Ben and Steven, that you love everything Final Fantasy, even 10-2 and Tetramaster. I'm like, yeah, I really don't think that's a controversial take. I think 10-2 is an impeccable video game. I think it's an impeccable video game. Is the story a little bit? Yeah, but it plays amazing. And where else can you do a massage minigame that's definitely simulating sexual intercourse? Is it on the edge? Yes. But it's the first time that you hear those probable sounds as a kid. I've been given the task, Ben and Steven. Other than the fact that, like, I could have spoken about anything about that game, about how great that game is, how I think the Via Infinito is probably the best, final dungeon in Final Fantasy. Still, I went with the simulated sex massage game. So I'm sorry. So yeah, I've been given the task to talk about things. Is Final Fantasy VIII the best Final Fantasy? No, it's not the best Final Fantasy. The best Final Fantasy is whichever one you like. It's my favorite. It's the one that when I was, 10 years old, I think, 10 or 11, I played, and it was the game that got me into games. I think 4 discs when you are really, really young on the PS1 when you know no better. It's a life-changing moment. I still have... People get the nostalgia drug. I get the nostalgia drug. You play me anything. You play me Blue Fields. You just I don't know, let's go to Delling City and I will just feel this insane amounts of nostalgia. I think the end of Disc 1 is one of the most amazing climactic moments in fiction for me. Is it for you? Probably not. Because I imagine if I played 10 first, I'd have the same reaction. I imagine if I played 7 or 6, you know, I love the way that as a community we can talk about these games and say why they affected us. You know, just because a moment didn't affect someone else as much as someone else, it's totally fine. So I will constantly talk about Final Fantasy VIII, and I love talking about how much it affects me, and I could sit down and nerd out about, I don't know, what GFs are the best GFs. Let's talk about the intricacies of the underwater research facility, you know, because it means something to me. But I will fight for people's right to talk about how much they love 8, even though I imagine for many people it is not their favourite or even the best Final Fantasy. But you know what? I would fight for anyone's right to talk about why Final Fantasy 13-2 is someone's favourite, because it's kind of cool at times. Again, the story's a bit, but actually the systems are great. What's my best Chocobo recipe? I don't know. It's my answer to that. But I have been asked by True Speak and told, actually, Bennett Maria, that you're also an actor. And congratulations. And True Speak was like, oh, Ben, do you have any advice for Ben? Ben, do you have an advice for Ben? Hi, Ben. Do I have advice for you? I don't know. No, not really. It really depends what you want to do. Clearly, you're working, you're doing great work, and I imagine you have your skill and your instrument that you use very well. My story is that of luck. You know, I was very lucky. I'm the drop in the ocean, the fact that I got to be the right place, the right time for the right character that just seized everything. But for me, it's just sticking with it, like I was doing like little bits of voiceover for years. And then I just happened to be there. And I suppose it's about placing yourself, making yourself emotionally and physically available for the opportunity of beautiful chance to hit you. Yeah, that really. And I've been asked if I could do the Final Fantasy 14 meme, critically acclaimed MMORPG. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's already on the internet. If you go onto my old X account, you will see that I've done that. Because I can't do it to hand right now. I learned it off by heart though, and you'll see I do it really, 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 really fast. But yeah, I would love to be in Final Fantasy 14. My character technically is, but I'm not. I love the team. Obviously, I work so closely with them, and I love the Final Fantasy 14 community, and I love kind of like being the weird uncle of Final Fantasy 14. You know, I'm not in that game, but I feel like so many fans of Final Fantasy 14, I have so much to bond with. My story of 14 is that I played it when A Realm Reborn, so when 2.0 came out. And I created an Elezen Dragoon called Cadwaron Talathon, and I played for like maybe like 100 hours. And I completed A Realm Reborn, like early days when it first dropped. I saw an article on IGN, I was like, I'm going to play this, fuck yeah, it's going to be my first MMO. And I was so bad that like doing Coils of Bahamut and people just getting really fucking angry at me because I was playing on my PS3. Yeah. That's how much of a Final Fantasy fan I was playing on PS3. I purchased an additional keyboard to play it. So I'm there with my controller. Do you know what wasn't great? Me at Final Fantasy 14. And I've said to some people, if I pick it up again, I will, Lala's all the way, baby. Lala's riding people. Let's go. And I love the fact that you've invited me to join your FC. Fucking hell, you're part of your free company. Here's me, Ben Starr. Hi, I'm Ben Starr, and I adore the Crystal Lawmasters. Ben Starr, I'm the official spokesperson of the free company of the Crystal Lawmasters. Come and join them. Are you feeling good? You'll have me. Here's some emotes that you can use. Ooh, being a Crystal Lawmaster is fun. You're great, Ben, Stephen. Have a lovely time. I hope this is insane. I've had a coffee this morning and I'm feeling far too perky. Isn't Final Fantasy a fucking cool franchise? Are you excited for Tactics? The Ivalice Chronicles, in which I played Dice Dark Beowulf. Spoiler, he's a prick. I wasn't going to do it, actually. I was given the opportunity to, audition for it, and I didn't really want to do it. This is fun. This is a bit of fun little info. I didn't originally want to do it because I was like, I'm Clive Rossfield, and that's my contribution to Final Fantasy. And then I was given some really fun scripts, and I thought the scripts were so cool. And I have such a huge reverence for Tactics, and I didn't want to kind of fuck it up. But the team who worked on 16 with me were like, yeah, this is a fun thing to do. And they showed me the script, and I auditioned, and they were like, yeah, great, you'd be great for Dice Dark. And he's just so different from Clive that I'm just like, also just being in Tactics is cool as hell. Okay, guys, you're great, you're wonderful. Hopefully we'll meet in person. I hope I answered some of your questions. I'm sorry, I didn't know what my best chocobo recipe is. The idea of eating a chocobo is horrific to me, but also I know what you mean. You're great. Have a great day. Bye.
Okay. Holy crap. That was just... Yeah, I know, and I know Steven mentioned this. He's in chat. I don't know if he listened to it all the way on his end, because...
Not all the way.
Not all the way.
I'm on delay.
Well, yeah.
But I heard it before.
There's... He threw some F-bombs in there. But, whatever. It's Final Fantasy.
He's allowed.
It's whatever. He's allowed. He's allowed to, because, it's been Star.
We'll mark it. If he wants to come on, he can say as many as he wants. We'll just mark it.
Right.
Fine.
I'll mark the episode explicit just for him. But yeah, no, that was a huge surprise for me and Steven both, and it's so freaking cool that we have a community like this. That, oh my god, thank you guys so much. And now he's aware of us, so which is amazing.
He's got no excuse now.
Yeah, I guess.
Taco Bell sponsorship or not, he is aware of us.
He's aware of us, yes, and he, you heard. He's now our official spokesperson for the FC. Boom.
Yeah, take that, other FCs.
I bet you don't have Ben Starr, do you? And yes, if Ben Starr, if you ever want to join our FC, we are on the server. We're in A, so he's UK, so it might be a little different.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, with that awesome gift out of the way, as much as I would gush more of that amazing gift that we got, we do have a character. No, it's not. That's when he comes on the show. Whenever we can get him on the show.
Right.
Definitely. For sure. But
do the Ben Starr deep dive.
Right. But yeah, so let's get into Garland, who, if you know, first person to go to the con with him needs to get your merch. Yes, no, absolutely. That is true. If I ever go to a con and if you see him at a con, for sure, I'm giving him one of our shirts. In a heartbeat. I will order that.
One of our patrons. One of our patrons brings him a shirt. We'll get you another one as a
Oh,
replacement.
absolutely. Absolutely, we will. So, now... Best FC in 14 just got better. Heck yeah, it did. All right, so we do have to do a character deep dive today, not just talking about Ben Starr and how awesome he is. So we have Garland. So Garland is obviously the main antagonist of the original Final Fantasy. He's a former knight of Cornelia who has fallen from grace, and the warriors of light pursue him after learning he has kidnapped Princess Sarah. Fun fact, there is way more in that than you actually think, thanks to Strangers of Paradise.
Yes, and Ben's made it a whole 10 minutes, so he knows Garland.
Woohoo! Shut up. Garland is first named character introduced in the original Final Fantasy and is the first antagonist of the franchise. Other Final Fantasy titles often allude to Garland and or his alter ego, Chaos, and the other characters named Garland have appeared, often with a design or backstory that parallels with the original Garland in some manner. Which, obviously, it's Final Fantasy being Final Fantasy, alluring to the original that they always do.
Yeah. Shout out 9.
Right. So getting into his appearance, so Garland's design varies across different releases of Final Fantasy. His basic design is that of a warrior wearing plate mail with a cape, which is various in colors, but is usually a shade of blue or purple, and has a horned helmet with 2 large horns curving out from the sides and 2 smaller vertical horns at the top. All versions past the MSX version gives his cape a gold trim and is often has glowing eyes visible within the shadows of his helmet visor, which are variably yellow or red. Which, I mean, most villains have that. Not gonna lie. So,
Pretty standard villain look.
right. Manual artwork for the Game Boy Advance port shows Garland wielding a curved sword, but no version of the Final Fantasy has ever depicted Garland wielding a weapon in game. Other media, such as the FMVs for the PlayStation Origins port, broadly keep his design of the Garland in an armored knight with a horned helmet and prominently blue armor and cape. The in-game manual for Dissidia 012 Final Fantasy implies Garland's Cloudsea Jin outfit with what he looks like under his armor. This is what the form he takes as the final boss of the Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnium. Otherwise, his appearance under the armor has never been seen, save for a piece of Nintendo Power artwork, where Garland's helmet is open, where he's facing away from the reader and has no distinct facial features. Nintendo Power. Keyword there's Nintendo Power, which is a magazine that died in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Garland's appearance in Dissidia Final Fantasy was designed by Tetsuya Nomura. Garland wears a suit of silver and gray armor with gold ornamentation, including gold settings containing blue orbs or gemstones on the waist, elbows, and back of the hands. His cape is a shade between blue and purple with gold trim and gold clasps that wields a massive sword identified in other titles as a claymore. Because it's a big sword.
Arbor Knight, big sword, makes sense.
Yeah,
all the
right?
classics.
And then since Dissidia, the design has become the basis for Garland's appearance in most other titles, Dissidia Final Fantasy NT updated the design with additional chest and shoulder plates, additional gold detailing on his armor, a new helmet, and new sword, Rebellion, based on his original claymore with decorative gold plating along with its length. So, and that's kind of cool. The Rebellion weapon's kind of nifty. A lot of gold in the middle, which is interesting.
He's very fancy for being the bad guy.
Yeah, it is very fancy for being the main antagonist weapon.
A lot of gold and silver and fancy decorative stuff. Usually they're like, we're in all black and evil, other than like X-Death.
Right. So, getting now into his personality. So, Garland is an arrogant and proud knight, insulting the warriors alike for daring to challenge him and triumphantly declaring his name that he will defeat them. He flaunts his success in creating a time loop and to them at the end of their quest, declaring that he will be reborn while his enemies die in the endless cycle he has created. Garland's character profile listed on Theorhythm Final Fantasy All-Star Carnival official website states that he kidnapped Princess Sarah because she did not reciprocate for his love for her, a motivation also given in the 20th anniversary Ultimania.
Yeah.
Nintendo
they were really...
What? Nintendo... Okay, so my mistake. I thought Nintendo Power died way early. Apparently it was in the 2010s it died. That doesn't... Really?
That was probably just a zombie version of it.
A zombie version of it? No way. So new version of Final Fantasy explicitly mentions Garland being infatuated with Sarah, though in the NES localization of Final Fantasy and in the original Japanese script, he does say, "No one touches my princess" to the Warriors of Light. Later localizations of Final Fantasy instead have Garland state that his goal is to ransom Sarah to the king in exchange for giving him control over Cornelia. Well,
real Jafar vibes here.
Wow, yeah, you're not wrong. He is giving Javar's vibes. So the citizens of Cornelia mourn the loss of Garland. What? Mourn? Expunging that he was once a good man who was corrupted by his power and lost himself. In the Japanese script is left ambiguous why he turned the evil, with the cause being a tribute to an unspecified event.
Yeah,
Wow,
so he was
that's
good and then he turned bad.
Oh no,
But
it's a switch. I'm evil
a
now.
little bit like what's his name that we just covered, Arden, where he was
Arden,
like good and then something bad happened.
And
Obviously, they
became
don't
evil.
go into the detail of Arden, but yeah.
So, Dissidia of Final Fantasy greatly expands on Garland's personality. He's aware that his predestined fate to become the demon Chaos and the cycle of conflict between Cosmos and the god Chaos, being the latter confidant and closest ally due to the existence of influencing each other. As a result of the nature behind the god's conflict, Garland believes he is meant to forever repeat a cycle of violence and resigns himself to endless battle. Well, that sucks.
Pretty deep for the first attempt at basically being a D&D game that you could play on a system.
Right, and it was also Square's. Technically, it was going to be their last game originally.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, obviously they added way more to him with future installments of the series. Obviously.
Yeah.
So Garland relishes combat and takes pleasure in dueling those that give him a challenge, as even if they defeat him, he knows that he will be revived to fight again. He encourages others to immerse in conflict and take joy in that he doesn't, as he does, and grows furious when someone attempts to escape the cycle or believes they can be ended. He shows no pity or hesitation against any opponent and declares not hold back even when facing women and children, such as Terra and the Onion Knight.
Yeah. The city makes him pretty nasty.
Wow. And how dare you fight women and children? Terra is strong on her own. Like, she doesn't need no help. She's half Esper, for crying out loud. She's half
she's
god.
Half a god.
Garland is not without compassion. He offers words of solace towards Kuja after witnessing how the other warriors of chaos manipulate his memory and emotions, and openly disapproves of the actions of the warriors of chaos and could endanger their allies. He befriends Chaos, revealing in their final meeting how they each shaped each other's lives. At the end of the 13th cycle, when the other warriors of Chaos have abandoned the god to pursue their own ambitions, only Garland remains loyal, guarding a gateway that leads to Chaos's domain. Which is, they're one and the same person. So they're... Because him and Chaos are one of the same coin, kind of a thing.
Well, in Dissidia, I don't know how that works.
They're separate characters in Dissidia.
Yeah.
It's like the Chaos is when he, like, Garland before he becomes Chaos, and it's a weird time paradox thing stuff because multiversal stuff.
Yeah.
Dissidia.
Yes, Box Girl. Strangers of Paradise might have some Garland answers, but we're not covering Jack Garland.
No, technically he's a different person. So according, he's not, but so according to Museum Profile, Garland's loyalty is due to him pitying Chaos as a fellow prisoner of the cycles of war. In Dissidia NT, Garland tells the Warriors of Light and Spiritus that it is not the true enemy and takes him and his allies to Spiritus to resolve the war peacefully. On such occasions, Garland demonstrates that he retains shades of the nobility and honor that once made him a respected knight. Not gonna lie, that's kind of cool.
It is very cool. He's a very cool character.
He is. Now getting to his abilities. So, characters in Final Fantasy regard Garland as the finest knight of Cornelia, and when they sent soldiers to attempt to rescue Sarah from him, all of them failed, as none could defeat Garland. In battle, as the first boss of the game, Garland was only able to use physical attacks. Wow, That's true, because I did fight him, and he only used physical stuff. He had no magic whatsoever. Also, let me tell you, playing the original Final Fantasy, oh my god, leveling sucks because you have to sleep to level up. You just don't level
so
up
like 15.
Yeah, pretty much. And this just, I'm not used to that. Not used to that at all. We got a little, I don't know, gaming nowadays where they just level you up right when you get the EXP. Instead of like, hey, you have to go turn in. Yeah, we're spoiled. Thank you. That's
or God forbid you have to do like you do in 2, where you have to level up by getting attacked. Like you have to get health by getting attacked.
Oh my god. Well, that's straight up like Oblivion does that for Elder Scrolls. Yeah. Like, hey, you want more health, or you want to do better in this skill? You have to do it.
Yeah, but just jump it everywhere.
Yeah. Pretty much. So, Dissidia Final Fantasy and its related titles expand Garland's skill set considerably. Garland's fighting style focuses around a massive sword that can change form between a greatsword, a lance, an axe, twin swords, and a flail. Holy crap.
That sounds pretty similar to 15 as well.
Right? The sword's size and weight make it difficult for even Garland to wield. Thus, he drags it behind him and uses its momentum to help swing it. Just like, typically with a claymore. It's how
does not seem like a very good strategy.
Well, no, that's like for larger swords like that, that's typically how you have to wield them. You can't just wield them right in the front.
It's a terrible idea. What are you going to extra cut somebody in half? Just use a regular sword.
No. The more damage, the better. So Garland's attacks use the ferocity of his weapon to deliver strings of blows in its different forms, such as changing forward with the lance to form to impale his opponent, and then quickly shifting to its axe form to slam them to the ground. He also invokes the power of the 4 fiends to infuse the sword with elemental magic. Both Dissidia and Dissidia NT characterize Garland as a close-range fighter that is slow to move and attack, but has terrific power.
Yeah. So just don't get hit by his very slow movements.
Don't get hit. Just don't get hit.
Yeah.
So Garland's fighting style and other spin-off varies, but is either reflective to the Dissidia incarnation or able to use a quad elemental attacks in reference to the 4 fiends. In Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnium, Garland can grant himself the Soul of Conflict status that delays the target's turn, and when he attacks and his limited and burst skills each grant a temporary status that boosts the party's damage, the boost increasing as they take turns.
Pretty cool.
In Final Fantasy Record Keeper, Garland is a darkness and heavy physical specialist. The soul breaks and legend material that grant him follow-up attacks and heal Garland when he deals damage. World of Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy Brave Exodus focus Garland in dark elemental damage and some proficiency in earth, fire, water, and wind, the elements of the 4 fiends. In Dissidia, Garland's EX burst is Soul of Chaos, named for the 4 bonus dungeons added in the Dawn of Souls version of Final Fantasy. Spin-off titles such as Established Soul of Chaos as Garland's limit break or equivalent mechanic, and usually depicted as Garland infusing himself with himself or his sword with energy and dealing multiple physical blows using the different forms of his sword.
Badass.
Yeah. No, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty awesome. I'm looking at chat right now. Watch out, he's about to... Yeah. But yeah, no, pretty cool stuff. At which point we will take a quick mid break and we'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast instead of doom scrolling? Smart move. Another smart move? Getting help from one of State Farm's 19,000 local agents when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This summer, say I do.
I am marrying a stranger.
Like never before.
Am I crazy?
It's a whole new Married at First Sight on Peacock.
Thank God I woke up in love.
With new experts.
My name is Dr. Lisa.
My name is Paul Brunson.
More couples.
This could be the start of a very successful marriage.
And more surprises.
Or maybe not.
Everything is just not enough.
You're a little bit crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I want my fairy tale ending.
Married at First Sight, now streaming. New episodes Thursdays, only on Peacock.
All right, welcome to the middle of the show. We're talking about everything with the podcast. It's nothing to do with the lore of Final Fantasy. Here, we want to thank all of our amazing patrons, and especially True Speak. Thank you so much for supporting the show. And if you too want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Final Fantasy Lorecast, where you can get ad-free episodes, or even join us once a month on the show, which our patron chat is next week. So, patrons, I know some of you are listening. Think of a topic. Because there's so much we can do, obviously, because you guys come up with awesome ideas.
Should all be very inspired right now.
Yes. After you listen to this episode, I would hope so. And hey, Ben Starr is against chocobo eating. So
no, he didn't say that.
He said it's horrific that you'd be eating them.
I don't remember him saying that.
It's at the end of the video. So. You heard it. And if you want, you can also leave us ratings, reviews on Apple and Spotify. Leave 5-star review on Apple with some words, or a nice Spotify comment. Read it out loud next time on the show. Which, let's see here. Nope, don't have anything on Apple. Shocker. But for Spotify, we have back on our Final Fantasy Vacation crossover patron chat, we have Kron saying the Ruby Price in 14, small fishing towns and great weather.
I don't think we've been to that, have we?
It's in Stormblood, I'm pretty sure. It's probably the Ruby Sea. More likely. Is what they're referring to. Then on our last episode of Jacked Sin, Summer of Heroes said, I love that Sin is a whale. Some of my favorite boss fights, godly entities, are whales. The Windfish from Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, all-devouring Narwhal from Genshin Impact, etc. Plus, his design looks cool in my opinion. There's a devouring Narwhal in Genshin? What? I didn't know that was a thing. That's awesome. I love narwhals. Tay tried posting a review on y'all twice on Apple. I don't know if it posted either time, but they did pretty much the same as the just read most recent one. Yeah, Apple's weird. I don't like Apple. Their review system sucks. Not gonna lie.
Ruby Price is the pirate place? Like that first area? Okay.
Oh, it's the pirate. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's in the Ruby Sea.
Is it where Heaven on High is?
Yes, it's near that. Yeah. Okay. It's that place. Yeah, over there. And then also from that Jacked Sin episode, Kit. I don't understand how you're pronouncing all these names completely wrong. Okay, listen here. Yes, no, I haven't played all these games. As I've said multiple times in this show, I don't play all the games. So,
we learn together.
So,
listen, the word, it's a words are hard thing.
Words are hard, and I have a speech impediment in some things. So there, if no one ever knew that I have that, so sorry. It's a flavor of the show. Look at all my other shows. Everybody they expect it at this point, and it happens. It is what it is. No one's perfect.
Of all your shows, this is the one with the most difficult words to pronounce.
Right?
So.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also Purple Orchard. No, I'm not drinking Baja Blast. It's just a lemonade.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
have,
in
I
that
have
colored
a
cup.
sparkling ice lemonade. So
I won't drink Baja Blast on the show until
we get
hear from
sponsored.
Taco Bell.
Whatever. But someone must be.
Yeah,
It happens.
fine.
Anyway, moving on. It's whatever. It happens. Words are hard, people. If you listen to the show this long, yeah, and just like Purple, we come here for the mispronunciations. Thank you.
If you were in the Discord, you would have a lot of fun with it, like the rest of us do.
You're welcome. It's great entertainment.
Angel.
Shush. I still can't say his name right.
It's my favorite one.
But you can also find us in a few different Discord servers. The Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can find this show and all the other shows that I host, which are Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, the Gundam Lorecast, the Wizarding World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. So go check those out. All great stuff. All great fun. And then I don't really have anything newsworthy right now. I mean, 7.3 is out finally for the last, month, maybe? Not even a month.
A couple weeks, I think.
A couple weeks now.
I'll get to it
14.
eventually. I just finished the main part of Dawn Trail.
Okay.
So I'm getting
Fair.
close.
Other than that, there's really not really much news. I do know Gamescom is starting up your Gamescom was probably almost ended by the time you hear this episode. But Gamescom is going on, so we might hear some news about other Final Fantasies. Maybe, probably not, knowing our luck. It might.
No, we won't. Ben.
If anything, hopefully the Tokyo Game Show. If not the Tokyo Game Show, it's probably going to be the Game Awards this year, because they did say it's been announced that they are going to announce something with the third final part of the 7 trilogy sometime this year.
So they're not going to do both of those on the same show.
Hey, you never know.
I would
Square.
be shocked.
It's Square. I wouldn't be surprised if they do both.
Listen, I'm living in a world where it's not going to get announced. I'm just not going to put myself through that heartbreak anymore.
And just wait, when it does, you'll be jumping for joy.
We're going to have an emergency podcast.
We need to get on now. We need to talk about it.
Take
Anyway.
it off work. Do a podcast.
Sorry, guys, I have to leave early. Where are you going? I need to record a podcast.
Yeah.
What? All right. Well, I have nothing else from the mid-break. Do you have anything from the mid-break?
I do not.
All right. Well, let's get back into more Garland.
Need a laptop that's built to perform and designed to last all day? Select Windows 11 PCs starting at $499.99 are now at Best Buy. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
All right, so now getting into Garland's story. So, in Final Fantasy, Garland was the best knight of the Kingdom of Cornelia, who regained respect through his power and skill. He became corrupted by power and abducted Princess Sarah, fleeing into the Chaos Shrine. He demanded that the King of Cornelia hand control of the kingdom to him in exchange for Sarah's life. Whoa.
Honestly, like, if you're going to do that, you got to ask for something more. Just a kingdom?
Yeah, just a
Come on,
kingdom.
buddy.
That's it. The Warriors of Light travel to the Shrine, where they defeat Garland and rescue Sarah. Afterwards, the Warriors travel the world to fight the 4 Fiends of Chaos. And when they had drained the crystals of their power, the power of the crystals the Fiends had drained was funneled into a dark crystal in the Chaos Shrine, opening a portal to the past.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right. With the crystals restored, the Warriors of Light are told that the fiends were sent from 2,000 years in the past, and their master is in that time. Using the Dark Crystal, the Warriors travel to the past, defeat the fiends again, and find Garland alive. Garland tells the Warriors of Light that the power of the four fiends in the present sent him to the past, where he was on the brink of death after his defeat, and Garland then sent the four fiends in the past to the present. By doing this, Garland was created a time loop which allowed him to live forever.
That was... I need a second there.
I know, right? And I was like, man, am I reading this right?
So...
yeah, so it's a time loop. So he sent the fiends from the past to the present, and then vice versa, with the fiends sending him to the past. So therefore, it's
the ones in the loop. The ones in the present sent him to the past. He got to the past. He sent the ones from the past to the present.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Garland absorbs the fiend's power and transforms into chaos to battle with the heroes. He is defeated, and the time loop is broken, restoring the land. The epilogue states that the restored Garland will await the Warriors of Light as they travel back to the present, though it is unclear if he has reformed into the honorable knight he once was.
What a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you don't hear about it ever again, by the way. You don't do anything with
Even
this
in
ever
any
again.
other versions?
I don't think so. Because the quote-unquote update they did was literally just adding dungeons, and that was it. I don't think it did anything with the story whatsoever.
Perhaps there's some information on Strangers of Paradise on this.
So gameplay-wise, being the first boss, Garland has only physical attacks, and the battle is straightforward. The player's physical attackers, if any, should attack each round, with the healer using their spells only when needed, and their offensive mage attacking each round with whatever spells they have.
Is this true, Ben?
Yeah. No, that's pretty straightforward. It was a straightforward fight. It was super straightforward. Garland has appeared in other Final Fantasy games. Shocker. So he appears in Final Fantasy Dimensions 2 as a summon, Dissidia Final Fantasy 2008 as a playable character and enemy, Final Fantasy 012 Final Fantasy as a playable character and enemy, Dissidia Final Fantasy NT, and Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnium as playable characters and enemies. He is in Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy All-Star Carnival as a playable character.
Thank God.
Picological Final Fantasy as a playable character and enemy. Final Fantasy Airborne Brigade as a legend and an enemy. Final Fantasy Artnix as a series of cards. Final Fantasy Record Keeper as a playable character and a boss. Final Fantasy Brave Exodus as a summonable vision. Final Fantasy Trading Card Game as a series of cards. World of Final Fantasy Maxima as a super boss and playable character, and Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin as the protagonist and main playable character.
Gasp! As the protagonist?
Whoa! No way! Dun dun dun! And then, speaking of Final Fantasy, Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, so Garland acts as the main protagonist and playable character in Strangers of Paradise, which acts as an alternative prequel to the original Final Fantasy. Whoa!
They need to do more like this.
Right? They do. In Strangers of Paradise, Garland was a Lufian named Jack Garland, who was assigned to eliminate an imbalance called Chaos as a stranger, with most of his memory wiped by the Lufians. One of Jack's comrades, Neon, dons his armor and pretends to be Garland under the thrall of Chaos. After learning the truth and his own people are using Cornelia to preserve their realm, Garland and his companions orchestrated a scheme to wrest control of the world and the Lufarians to create a new timeline where they assume villainous roles while conditioning the true Warriors of Light. Jack and the group would later encounter the dimensional traveler Gilgamesh when he was used by the Lufians in an attempt to reconnect with Cornelia, with Gilgamesh assuming Jack to be to be the past version of another Garland he encountered across space and time. In the DLC story Different Timeline, Garland himself appears briefly, where after making clear that the Warriors of Light met him before, vows the Warriors of Light will die while he himself will live forever.
Huh.
So yeah. It's an alternate timeline to like show like, hey, this is how the time paradox, like the time loop started and all this stuff. It actually gives more of a backstory why Garland specifically targeted Sarah. Lo and behold, it was actually love. Shocker.
Aww.
It was romance, even though he forgot everything of all his memories. He says it was for money and all, but it was all like thinking, going back, it's like, oh, huh. No, it was for love. He just can't remember.
It was the friends we made along the way.
Right. And then in other media, fun fact, there's novelizations.
Oh, God, this is never good.
So Garland appears in the novel Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, Memories of Heroes, with largely the same role as in Final Fantasy. Before his formal debut, the knights who recruited the Warriors of Light to rescue Princess Sarah from Garland's clutches asked them to spare Garland despite his role in abducting her, due to his actions being unusual for him, furthering the game's implication that Garland got corrupted by the Chaos Shrine. And in the ending, just before his reappearance, it is implied that Garland, or rather Chaos, had brainwashed the Four Fiends into thinking that the Warriors of Light were the ones trying to destroy the world, after he had defeated them in the time loop due to Tiamat expressing disbelief at the Warriors of Light's accusations. Just as Garland reveals he was responsible for everything and transformed by absorbing the fiends, his actions in causing the time loop were also explicitly responsible for the Four Fiends Four Heroes' amnesia at the beginning.
Oh, Final Fantasy and their amnesia. Listen, of all the novelizations we've had so far, this one is acceptable.
Straightforward, because it's just like, hey, it's the same story.
This is what happened. Just some behind-the-scenes info. Like, yeah, do this. Don't make weird sequels where
that don't make sense.
Palpatine's still alive. Kind of thing.
Okay, listen here. That was always a thing in Star Wars well before Disney bought it. Just saying. It was always a thing. Because look at Legends. Legends had multiple books where Palpatine came back.
Hey, wrong show.
I'm just saying. And then last but not least, we do have behind the scenes. So Garland's declaration in the original NES release of Final Fantasy, I, Garland, will knock you all down, became a meme due to the silliness of the line. The original Japanese line roughly translates as, I, Garland, will kick you around.
That's better.
Which will directly translate, I can't read kanji, so I don't know what this word says. Which directly translates as kick around, and is usually used as a manner to refer to defeating someone. Thus, the NES version of the line is near literal translation of the original Japanese.
Okay, well.
That's the first. Normally you don't get that.
Yeah.
You normally don't get literal translations. And then censorship also likely played a role in the localization. At the time, Nintendo of America forbade video games from making explicit references to death, forcing the usage of euphemisms. When Final Fantasy was retranslated for the PlayStation Origins port, the line was removed, but the updated translation of the Game Boy Advance port restored it. The PlayStation Portable Anniversary release and the Pixel Remaster version retained the majority of the Game Boy Advance script, including the line, the City of Final Fantasy NT include the line as a voice chat option for Garland when in lobbies. So I'm trying to see what line specifically about
death. I will knock you all down.
Oh, no, specifically that line.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
We're going to change it because censorship, and somehow that doesn't specifically say they're going to die, though.
I will knock you all down. It is a hilarious line.
All right. And then Tetsuya Nomura had said that Garland was difficult character design for Dissidia. Unlike other Dissidia characters, Garland had no original concept art for Nomura to draw upon, only game sprites. He described it as being more like creating a new character rather than redesigning an existing character, but the final result still had to be recognizable to players as the Garland they knew from Final Fantasy.
I mean, you got something to work with.
Right.
I've seen the battle version of them. Maybe it's different with the Pixel remaster. I'm going to do a little research.
Fair. When you do that, I'm going to finish it off with the voice. So, now this is cool for anybody who, this is going to go back into the DBZ crap that we have keeps coming around. Garland is voiced in English by Christopher Sabat.
Yeah!
He was first voiced him in Dissidia. Sabat has voiced Garland in all subsequent speaking appearances and also voices Neon posing as Garland / Chaos Advent in A Strangers of Paradise. He was initially voiced in Japanese by Kenji Utsusumi, although he is later replaced from Dissidia NT onward by Koji Inchi after Utsumi's death. Like with Sabat in the English version, Ishii also voices Neon posing as Garland / Chaos Advent in Strangers of Paradise. So, yeah, we have Vegeta. Shocking. Because Chris Sabat's like his villain voice is great, and like just deep voice in general. Like he plays all the muscular, big characters in
all the
anime.
gruff sounding. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's like half of the cast of DBZ.
Yeah.
He's like almost half the cast. So, yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. So, yeah, I don't have anything else for this week other than another huge thank you to TrueSpeak for having Ben Starr give us a video and be able to play it on the podcast and all that, and I'm definitely going to be using some of those sound clips. Yeah. And yes, Purple, he plays Piccolo, Yamcha, Shenron, Vegeta, and that's just that's just for the main characters he voices. So when Piccolo and Vegeta are talking to each other, that's him talking to himself.
Well, yeah.
So, and sometimes he does, like, table reads. You actually have to change the voice right and then there.
He's pretty talented, I'd say.
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, that's all I got. Do you have anything else for this week's episode, Steven?
I don't, but now I want to go play
the original Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Or 16? Which one?
No, you know you know which one. Don't make me say it just in case he ever comes on.
No, I'm not going to respond to that, Archer, because that's not happening. Nice
DBZ
try.
podcast. 6 seasons
Now,
of that movie.
I will say that would be like that would be a really good outro line of the show. Not gonna lie, just like how the original announcer would be, find out next time on Dragon Ball Z, and like do the same thing for the Lorecast. That'd be kind of cool. But no,
only we knew a voice actor.
Oh no.
Oh, we'll find one.
Now you kind of want me to do it. Find out more on the DBZ Lorecast. Now I would have to play around with it. That's too much. It's just like a normal voice. I had to play around with it. Anyway, everybody, thank you again for listening to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, and may the crystals guide you. Thank you for listening to the Final Fantasy Lorecast. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and love for the Final Fantasy lore. You can also find us on Twitter at FFLorecast.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.